love everything about Egypt. The cat worship, the dance, the music, the food, the clitoridectomy. Oops. So based on that little slip up, you can tell that my IO is based on clitoridectomy, or female genital mutilation, in Egypt, which is right here. It's Africa, by the way. This is Egypt. Yeah. In Woman at Point Zero, the main character has female genital mutilation, or FGM. FGM is a practice incredibly common in Egypt, with about 92% of girls having the procedure performed.
Hey, Ilya, what's female genital mutilation?
FGM is the removal of part or all of a woman's genitalia.
Yeah.
There are 3 types of FGM. The first type is just the removal of the clitoris. The second type is the removal of the clitoris and the labia minora. The third type is the removal of the clitoris and the labia minora, and then everything is sewn together so there's just a tiny hole left to pee. There's one final type of female genital mutilation, that's type 4. That has to do with cauterizing or scraping out the insides, just anything extra that normally doesn't happen in Egypt, but it's just important to know. FGM is traditionally performed by dayas, which are essentially nurses who use razor blades to cut everything off. However, in the more modern society, FGM is performed by doctors, but in Women at Point Zero, it's very clear that for dose, uses a daya. FGM happens from infancy to around 15 years of age.
Why is this so common in Egypt?
Good question, Elsa. Everyone thinks FGM is a thing because of Islam. However, there's no mention of FGM in the Quran, and FGM was around when the pharaohs were around, and I'm pretty sure that was before Islam. Here's another fun fact. Christians and the sparse amount of Jews in Egypt also have this procedure performed. So it's really not a religious thing, it's more cultural. Here's how Egyptians look at it. A woman isn't pure until she's had this procedure performed. Once she's had FGM, the chances of her running off with a man and cheating on her husband they're very minimal. FGM is mainly just a way for men to have more sexual satisfaction, but that's none of my business.
And you got a problem with that? I don't see anything so bad with FGM.
There is so much wrong with FGM. In fact, there is no health benefits at all. In fact, it is quite the opposite. Here's a list of everything wrong with just the procedure of FGM. No anesthesia is used. The equipment isn't sterile. It can lead to severe bleeding, infections, death. Even if the procedure is successfully performed, intercourse becomes unpleasurable and in some cases even painful for women. FGM can make childbirth extremely painful for women. In fact, sometimes they have to reopen the stitches that they originally put over just so that she can push out the child.
Yeah! So if it's so bad, why hasn't the government stepped in and done anything about it?
They have. FGM is currently banned in Egypt, but this practice is so ingrained into the people's minds that it's still extremely common and is a huge problem. So basically, what we've learned from this video is that you can't raise a family in Egypt. On a more serious note, this is an incredibly dangerous procedure that needs to be stopped, so thank you for taking the time to learn about female genital mutilation. For more information about FGM, check out this link. Or if you're feeling wild, you should totally check out this link.